Alright, welcome back to another episode of Chip Theory. Today I'm going to be discussing a Lydian mode. Here we're starting, we have the chips laid out from E. E is going to be our keynote for E Lydian. So we have E, F sharp, E, F, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, and D sharp laid out here with poker chips. The first thing we need to realize when we're finding our E Lydian modal scale is the pattern for the Lydian mode. That's going to be a whole, 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 half, whole, whole, half pattern. Again, that's the inverse of our Locrian mode, which is the 7th mode, which is a half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole, whole. And the Lydian is going to be our 4th mode of the major scale. Lydian is the mode known for its sharp 4 note of its scale. So that's going to be our pattern: whole, 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 half, whole, whole, half. The second thing we need to realize before we find our E Lydian scale is the key that the Lydian mode is relative to. So here we have our E note. We're going to take it down to this side here, to the right of D sharp or E flat, and we have the E. And we're going to simply count down 5 half steps because E is going to be the perfect 4th of our major scale that the Lydian mode will be derived from. So a perfect 4th is 5 half steps in terms of half steps for the interval. So we're going to count down 5 half steps. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here you can see on the right side of the 3 blue chips or black keys, the B note. So the key of B major is what our E Lydian mode will be relative to. Since we know there are 12 half steps in the octave, we know that if we counted down 5 to reach B from this direction, if we bring E down back to its bottom octave and we count up to B from here, we have a 5th or 7 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because of the 12 notes in the octave, we subtract the 5 from this direction and it leaves us 7 from the other direction to reach that same pitch for a relative major of B. So we could simply play our B major scale starting on this note E, and that would give us a Lydian. Or we could remember the pattern for Lydian scales, which is a whole step here, a whole step, a third whole step, and then our half step. And then we have 2 whole steps. And then the final half step to finish the octave would be here. So that gave us our whole, whole, half, whole, whole, half for Lydian formula for the Lydian mode. If we look at the inverse on the pattern, we have the Locrian pattern, a half step, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 which is simply the inverse. So if you know your Lydian mode, you also know the Locrian scale pattern as well. Granted, it won't be the same notes, but the pattern is the Lydian pattern in inverse. So let's remove the notes here that are not in our Lydian mode. This is going to leave us the notes E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, and D sharp. Again, we're simply looking at an E major scale with a sharp 4. You can see the 4 blue chips from E major. And here we have the A sharp. Again, the B note is on our 5th degree, and the key of B major has 5 sharps. So here we have all 5 blue chips from a relative major of B. However, we're starting on the E, or the 4th degree. Keeping that in mind, we can move the B down like this to give us our B major scale. B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp, would be a B major scale. And if we were to number our relative major notes in their degrees, we have B would be 1, C sharp is 2, D sharp is 3, E is the 4th. This is going to be our Lydian scale that we're dealing with now on the 4th degree. F sharp is 5, G sharp is 6, and A sharp would be 7. Now if we take those degrees and move them back to our Lydian position, we have simply the degrees of B major starting here on 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, and 3. So again, our root of our relative major, the B major, falls on the 5th degree of Lydian, or B. Understanding that, we can build our triads of our E Lydian scale by alternating scale tones like this. Here would be our first triad, which is going to be the 4, 6 root notes of B. So here we have, this is E Lydian, E, G sharp, and B, which is major, the 4, 6 root of B, E, G sharp, B, for our first triad, which is a major triad. Our second triad of E Lydian is going to be the 5, 7, 2 of B, F sharp, A sharp, and C sharp, which is major. Our third triad of E Lydian is going to be minor, the 6 root 3 scale degrees of B, G sharp, B, and D sharp is minor. Our fourth one is going to be our sharp 4 chord. This is the sharp 4 of the Lydian mode. On the A sharp, this is A sharp, C sharp, and E, or 7, 2, 4 of B. A sharp, C sharp, E is diminished. Again, our 5 chord is the relative major, B, D sharp, and F sharp, which is the root, 3rd, and 5th of B major. Here's our 6th position triad, 2, 4, and 6. C sharp, E, and G sharp, which is minor. And our 7th chord is here, D sharp, F sharp, and A sharp, which is also minor. This is the 3, 5, 7 of B. D sharp, F sharp, A sharp. So those are the triads. Again, our qualities of Lydian are going to be a major triad, major, minor, diminished, major, minor, and minor. It's the 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3 of our relative major here, B, starting on the E. Okay, so now we can build 7th chords the same way using alternating scale tones from our Lydian scale. Again, these are going to be chords from the key of B, however they're shifted in position. So the 4 chord will start here on the first position. It's going to be the 4, 6, root 3, E, G sharp, B, and D sharp, which is a major 7, 4, 3, 4 spacing, with a 2+1 interval here for its minor 3rd. The 2 chord is a dominant 7, the 5, 7, 2, 4, again, of B, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, and E. Again, it's a 4-3-3 spacing with a C sharp to E here, a minor third above the major triad of F sharp major. 5-7-2-4 of B. It's going to have a 1+2 here and a 2+1 here. The 3 chord of E Lydian is the 6-3-5 minor 7 chord of B, G sharp, B, D sharp, and F sharp. A G sharp minor 7. It's a 3-4-3 spacing with a 2+1 here and a 1+2 here. The 4 sharp 4 chord was a 7-2-4 triad, diminished, but we're adding the 7-2-4-6 note from B, which is the G sharp, E to G sharp. So we have A sharp, C sharp, E, and G sharp. Again, half diminished is also a minor 7 with a flat 5. A sharp, C sharp, E, and G sharp are 7-2-4-6 of the relative major. It's going to have a 3-3-4 spacing with a 1+2 here and a 2+1 here. 5 chord is major, the root, 3rd, 5th, 7th. This is our relative major. B, D sharp, F sharp, and A sharp. Again, it's a 4-3-4, major 7, root, 3rd, 5th, 7 of B. B, D sharp, F sharp, A sharp. Again, it's going to have the 1+2 interval here for its minor third. The 6th chord is 2-4-6 root, minor 7 chord, C sharp, E, G sharp, and B. 2-4-6 root, a 3-4-3 spacing, and it will have 2+1 intervals for its minor thirds. Our 7 chord is a 3-5-7-2, D sharp, F sharp, A sharp, and C sharp. Our D sharp minor 7, D sharp, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, 3-4-3 spacing with 1+2s for its minor thirds. Here and here. Again, so our qualities are major 7, dominant 7, minor, a sharp 4 half diminished, a 5 major 7, the 6 minor, and the 7 minor 7. So we can talk about the inversions of these chords now. Assuming that our scale degrees are going to stay the same, we have across the bottom the 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3. Again, this row would start on the 6, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5. This row starts on the root, the Ionian mode, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can probably see the B major scale across here. And up here you have the Phrygian mode, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2. So those are all modes as well. This first chord was the E major 7, E, G sharp, B, D sharp, the 4-3-4 spacing. When we invert this, we have a 4-3-4-1 starting on G sharp, B, D sharp, and E, or 4-1-4 starting on B, D sharp, E, and G sharp, 1-4-3 starting on D sharp, E, G sharp, and B. Coming down is B, G sharp, E, D sharp, G sharp, E, D sharp, B, E, D sharp, B, G sharp, and D sharp, B, G sharp, E, or E major 7 chord. Our second position chord was dominant. It's F sharp A, C sharp E, or a 4-3-3. We invert this. We have the 3-3-2 position for dominant sevens, starting on A sharp, C sharp, E, and F sharp. Here we have a 3-2-4 position, starting on C sharp, E, F sharp, and A sharp, to our 2-4-3 position, starting on E, E, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp. Coming down is C sharp, A sharp, F sharp, E, A sharp, F sharp, E, C sharp, F sharp, E, C sharp, A sharp, and E, C sharp, A sharp, F sharp. Our third position chord was minor, starting on G sharp, B, D sharp, F sharp. It's a 3-4-3 spacing. We move our G sharp up. We have a 4-3-2 spacing starting on B, B, D sharp, F sharp, and G sharp. The second version is a 3-2-3 starting on D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, and B, to our 2-3-4 inversion starting on F sharp, G sharp, B, and D sharp. Coming down is D sharp, B, G sharp, F sharp, B, G sharp, F sharp, D sharp, G sharp, F sharp, D sharp, B, and F sharp, D sharp, B, G sharp. Our sharp 4 half diminished chord was an A sharp half diminished, A sharp, C sharp, E, and G sharp, which is a 3-3-4 position, 3-3-4 spacing. When we invert it, we have a 3-4-2 position starting on C sharp, E, G sharp, A sharp. Here we have the 4-2-3 position starting on E, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, to our 2-3-3 position starting on G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, and E. Coming down is E, C sharp, A sharp, G sharp, C sharp, A sharp, G sharp, E, A sharp, G sharp, E, C sharp, and G sharp, E, C sharp, A sharp. A sharp half diminished. Our 5 chord was a relative major, B, D sharp, F sharp, and A sharp. It's a 4-3-4 spacing. When we invert it, we have the 3-4-1 position starting on D sharp, F sharp, A sharp, B, to a 4-1-4 starting on F sharp, A sharp, B, and D sharp, to our 1-4-3 position starting on A sharp, B, D sharp, F sharp. Coming down is F sharp, D sharp, B, A sharp, D sharp, B, A sharp, F sharp, B, A sharp, F sharp, D sharp, and A sharp, F sharp, D sharp, B, for our B major 7. Our 6th position chord was a minor 7, C sharp, E, G sharp, B, a 3-4-3 spacing. Invert the C sharp to the top, we're left with a 4-3-2 position starting on E, G sharp, B, C sharp, to our 3-2-3 position starting on G sharp, B, C sharp, E, and a 2-3-4 starting on B, C sharp, E, and G sharp. Coming down is G sharp, E, C sharp, B, E, C sharp, B, G sharp, C sharp, B, G sharp, E, and B, G sharp, E, C sharp. And finally, our seventh chord is a D sharp minor 7, D sharp, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp. It's a 3-4-3 position. Here we have a 4-3-2 starting on F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, to a 3-2-3 starting on A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, and a 2-3-4 starting on C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, A sharp. Coming down is A sharp, F sharp, D sharp, C sharp, F sharp, D sharp, C sharp, A sharp, D sharp, C sharp, A sharp, and F sharp, and C sharp, A sharp, F sharp, D sharp. Again, these are the chords of E Lydian. We have an E major 7, an F sharp dominant, G sharp minor, A sharp minor 7 flat 5 or A sharp half diminished, a B major 7, a C sharp minor 7, and a D sharp minor 7. And those are your chords and chord qualities of your E Lydian major scale, the mode, the fourth mode of the major scale.